What's up, everybody? Chester ARP Church Devotional Podcast. Clint Davis, your host. We are in Proverbs chapter 11. Just going to work our way through the book of Proverbs, reading these Proverbs from chapter 10 to chapter 31. We'll just kind of read through them chapter by chapter, and maybe the Lord will speak to you where you are, and one of these Proverbs will hit home, or maybe some thoughts regarding these Proverbs will be used by God to encourage your heart and to challenge you to live in righteousness. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the upright guards them, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless keeps his way straight, but the wicked falls by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the treacherous are taken captive by their lust. When the wicked dies, his hope will perish, and the expectation of wealth perishes too. The righteous is delivered from trouble, and the wicked walks into it instead. With his mouth the godless man would destroy his neighbor, but by knowledge the righteous are delivered. When it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices, and when the wicked perish, there are shouts of gladness. By the blessings of the upright a city is exalted, by the mouth of the wicked it is overthrown. Whoever belittles his neighbor lacks sense, but a man of understanding remains silent. Whoever goes about slandering reveals secrets, but he who is trustworthy in spirit keeps a thing covered. Where there is no guidance, a people falls, but in the abundance of counselors there is safety. Whoever puts up security for a stranger will surely suffer harm, but he who hates striking hands in pledge is secure. A gracious woman gets honor, and a violent man gets riches. A man who is kind benefits himself, but a cruel man hurts himself. The wicked earns deceptive wages, but the one who sows righteousness gets a sure reward. Whoever is steadfast in righteousness will live, but he who pursues evil will die. Those of a crooked heart are an abomination to the Lord, but those of blameless ways are his delight. Be assured an evil person will not go unpunished, but the offspring of the righteous will be delivered. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman without discretion. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, the expectation of the wicked in wrath. One gives freely yet grows all the richer, another withholds what he should give and only suffers want. Whoever brings blessing will be enriched, and the one who waters himself will be watered. The people will curse him who holds back grain, but a blessing is on the head of him who sells it. Whoever diligently seeks good seeks favor, but evil comes to him who searches for it. Whoever trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like a green leaf. Whoever troubles his own household will inherit the wind, and the fool will be a servant to the wise of the heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and whoever captures souls is wise. If the righteous is repaid on earth, how much more will the wicked and the sinner be paid as well? It's interesting that these Proverbs, as I read them in chapter 11, seem to have some type of a theme. It begins in verse 1, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, and then verse 2, when pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble wisdom is given. It goes on down and talks about those who are prideful and who are wicked, that they will die and they will perish, and there will be shouts of gladness in their parish as they perish in the town. Blessing of the upright will bring blessing to the city. There will be sadness when the upright dies. He talks about those who go around slandering secrets, reveal secrets, but the trustworthy in spirit keeps things covered. A kind man benefits himself, but a cruel man hurts himself, and so on and so forth. As I kind of work through these parables, two images came to mind, or two personalities from the scriptures came to mind. The first is the personality of Haman. We just read through the book of Esther together on this podcast, and Haman is a guy who certainly fits the wicked, the prideful, wicked person that is described here in Proverbs chapter 11. When the wicked dies, his hope will perish. The expectation of wealth perishes too. When Haman died, his expectation of wealth and grandeur and royalty and prominence all went away. He was a man full of pride, and he was an evil, destructive person. He sought to bring harm. He tried to destroy his neighbor Mordecai and others. As one of the psalmists said, or one of the Proverbs says, with his mouth the godless man will destroy his neighbor. Haman did all those things, and he was justly rewarded for his sin and his rejection of God and his treatment of God's people. The story of Esther is a story of great celebration after Haman is defeated, and then ultimately the people are given the opportunity to defend themselves, and God brings victory to them. And so the story of Haman is the story of Proverbs 11. A prideful man, an arrogant man, a wicked man will fall, and in his fall will come the end of his expectations, and there'll be great celebration. You also think about the character that I read about this morning, King Nebuchadnezzar, who was carried off into the wilderness in Daniel chapter 4 because of his pride and his arrogance. He refused to acknowledge the Lord, and he was carried off, and he had to live out in the wilderness as a wild beast. And he had to sleep with the dew. The king of Babylon carried off in the wilderness, living out by himself in the wilderness, doing those kind of things. And as he was out doing those kind of things, he had to suffer because of his pride. And then ultimately God used that to humble him and to bring him to a point of understanding and relationship with God. I think that is another example of this story. Prideful people refuse to accept God. They act like they do it on themselves. They're wicked by nature, and they are ultimately disgraced because of their pride and their refusal to submit themselves to the Lord. But the person who is righteous, who walks in the Lord, who trusts in the Lord, is a person who's is a tree of life, and he captures souls, and he is wise, and he is repaid for his righteousness on this earth. Think in the story of Nebuchadnezzar, think Daniel. In the story of Haman, think Mordecai. God is faithful to reward those who seek his life. Take these Proverbs and put them to practice. You guys have a great day. God bless you. I'll see you next time.